What's up, everybody? Welcome back. My name is Rob. You're back on Rule of Two Review, and we're moving forward with some of the E3 hype videos. If you remember last time, I made a video discussing what I wanted from Nintendo at E3 this year, because E3 is just a month away. It's time to get really excited. That was a really fun video to make, super popular. People seem to really enjoy it. Discussing what I think Nintendo should do, what I want them to do, what's going to be important or big for them moving forward. I also mentioned how I was going to make two other videos discussing both Sony and Microsoft apiece. What I've decided to do, because honestly there's less to talk about when it comes to Sony and Microsoft, I think, I'm going to make it just one video. So you guys are going to get double the dose today, and you're going to get one video where I'm going to discuss the Sony stuff and the Microsoft stuff all together. It's going to be a big double whammy just for you guys, just because I love you. So let's go ahead and get to it. We're going to start off with Sony and what Sony needs to do going into E3 this year. Sony's in a very interesting particular situation. Most of the things I have to talk about, actually almost entirely, it's all very simple. It's really just game titles, because the PlayStation 4 is abnormally popular and outrageously successful. And as much as I enjoy the PlayStation 4, I have one, I like it. I think it's a good system. I think Sony's done a great thing with it. What it doesn't have is a strong library. So it's just driving me crazy trying to figure out why the system has sold so well and why it's doing so well. Other than that, Sony had a great press conference for their reveal, and they've just been writing crazy good hype and great marketing. And you know, that definitely goes to show for their success, because they're doing really well with the PlayStation 4, despite having the least compelling library on the market, I personally think. So when it comes to Sony going into the press conference, again, just a random list of things that I think they need to talk about. So the first thing is pretty random, and I don't know how this is going to play out at E3 this year. And it's talk about the Vita support, the PlayStation Vita. The weird anomaly that is this machine that most people seem to think is fairly quality, and I really would like to have a reason to own one, but that just can't seem to do well. I mean, Sony can't do anything. They're not supporting it. The Vita doesn't have games. That's the thing, obviously, that's really hurt the system. I don't think that Sony really knew what kind of a gaming experience they wanted to pursue with the Vita and what they wanted to show people it could do. So early on, it was like, you're going to get all these AAA big-budget experiences that you would normally get on your home console, only in your hand. And that idea seems great, and there are times where that's worked great for many handheld consoles in the past, even Nintendo's. But for some reason with the Vita, it just didn't make the most sense. It also had this horrible proprietary memory unit, and that just was god-awful expensive and not appropriate. And in the cell phone age, the smartphone age, I should say, it's emulating the smartphone experience too much. I think that's why Nintendo has seen success, is they've separated themselves from trying to emulate what smartphones do, and the Vita's kind of tried to chase it, and it sort of bit Sony in the ass. And they also, you know, they started off with these big budget titles and then tried to move to stuff that's more akin to the pick up and play model, but by that time, people had kind of abandoned it already. And so I will never doubt that it's a quality machine, and I appreciate what it can do and what Sony has tried to do with it, but it's just floundered, and there's no reason to think that that's going to change. So will Sony talk about the Vita this year, and what should the Vita's future be? I have no idea. I don't want to see it fail. You know, I really don't, but I think that that is its destiny. I mean, I will be shocked if they spend a lot of time with the Vita this year. And if they do, what I'm telling you they're going to do, what you need to prepare for, is a barrage of Vita stuff. They cannot say, oh, here's all this PlayStation 4, and this is going to be great, and all this for the PS4, PS4, PS4. Oh, and here's a really cool-looking Vita game, and then back to PS4 stuff, and then maybe more TV stuff for PSN, and blah, blah, blah. If they just make the Vita a small focus and talk about one or two things, forget it. The thing will be officially dead in my eyes. Now, again, if they really want to save it, they need to spend a huge amount of time on the Vita and show all these great games they're making, what this wonderful plan is, what's the future, how does it work with your PlayStation 4, this, that, and the other. If they do that, it means that they're showing they're dedicating their time and their money and their effort into making it successful. So what's going to happen there, I don't know, but it'll be really interesting to see. If they want to save the Vita, this year is the time to do it. So we'll see what happens there. Uncharted 4, we need a release date for that. We know that it got delayed until 2016. Just like 2 or 3 months ago or so, which was really tragic news. It was the only really awesome-looking title after Bloodborne that I think they had this year, for the most part. There's a couple others, I should say, but that's their one big saving grace title. It's like the best thing they had going for themselves, and they pushed it back. Now, what I'm hoping that means, moving on from Uncharted, is that they have another surprise flagship holiday release title. We know it's not going to be God of War, which I do think that we need to hear from this year. because they've said that God of War is much farther away. So that'll be kind of interesting to see what happens with that title. I don't think we're going to hear from it this year, but it would be cool if we did. I don't know what else it could be. I mean, they're doing like a Ratchet and Clank like remaster thing. I don't know. I mean, who knows? Little Big Planet's already released. I mean, what else does Sony have at this point? I'm probably brain farting a really obvious one. And I'm trying to think of what it is, but I don't even know. So we know we're not going to get The Last of Us 2, but it would be nice to hear something from The Last of Us. So what's going to be the big holiday release title? I don't know. It's not Uncharted. We need the release date for Uncharted, and we need to know what's going to take its place. Sony, you didn't really have a big title last year. What's going to be your big title this year? You know, it's not The Order, and Bloodborne's already out, so what the hell are you doing? You know, I guess we'll see what the surprise release is. Like I said, Last of Us 2 would be great to hear from. God of War would be great to hear from. Titles that are going to be super far away. Maybe a little tease or a title screen, some sort of confirmation it's coming. Maybe like a movie for God of War. They probably will talk about the God of War 3 remaster, which is cool. Like, that's a game that I might actually, a remaster that I might actually support because I really love that game and I could see it. I could see that having a great transition from PS3 to PS4. So that would be really cool. Here's one that's a personal thing for me, but I think we will see this. I think we will hear about Bloodborne DLC. Bloodborne recently released just a month ago here in the States. One of the best games I've ever played. I have raved about it to no end. I cannot tell people how great Bloodborne is. It is so addicting. I'm still playing this game, and I'm gonna play it as soon as I finish recording this. I love me some Bloodborne. I cannot wait to finally beat that game. And Bloodborne, it's also the best thing that PlayStation 4 has going for it now. Everybody knows that. So a great way to further that success would be to discuss DLC. And this is exciting to me because, for one thing, a game like Bloodborne doesn't really allow for the microtransaction BS kind of DLC market that we've been seeing happening so much lately. It's not that kind of experience. It can only be additional single-player stuff more to lengthen the campaign and what it is you do with that game. That's all that they could do. And that would be really exciting for anyone who likes Bloodborne. That's exactly what a Bloodborne player would want. And they have yet to even discuss DLC. So by the time the DLC is discussed and then subsequently released, it would be months and months after the game came out. That's all we ever want out of our DLC, right? All of us who complain about how DLC is handled nowadays, that's a great way to do it. So that would be very acceptable, it would be very smart, it would be good for the game and the fans, and it would be very successful for Sony, because Bloodborne has been a huge success for them, and they need to capitalize on that, so it'd be very smart for them. Something else that I want personal from Sony is more info on a very particular title, that is Let It Die. Let It Die is the new game from Suda51 that was apparently originally the game Lily Bergamo. Lily Bergamo was revealed, I think, 2 E3s ago. Just a short anime-related teaser trailer. I lost my freaking mind because I just love Suda. I worship the ground that man walks on. He makes my favorite kinds of games. I just love them. No More Heroes, the first one, top 10 all time for me. Absolute, and is Killer 7. So those two games are top 10 all time for me. And so I was really excited he was working on Lily Bergamo. I thought that game was going to be really cool. I wanted to hear more. Last year, it turns out that the other game that they showed, exclusive to the PlayStation 4 from Suda51, called Let It Die, I read just probably 6 or 7 months ago that apparently that was Lily Bergamo, and it turned into Let It Die, which is interesting because they bear no resemblance. So what I really think happened is that Lily Bergamo got straight up just canceled or canned or put on the back burner, and instead he decided to work on Let It Die. So, I'm excited to hear about Let It Die, because from what I've heard about it, I'm actually not excited, and I want to hear all my fears be assuaged. Apparently, it's some online free-to-play kind of game, and you're just leveling up, and it's, I don't even know. You're just playing with other people online, killing people in like a gory way, like typical to Suda51 games, and I guess you buy certain things for a couple bucks that help you advance, and I don't know. I mean, that is completely not interesting to me. If it's Suda, it means I'm going to at least pay attention and give the game a chance to sell me on it. But I'm hoping to learn that none of that's true. I want it to just be a $60 console physical release. I just want it to be a great Suda51 game, an exclusive to PlayStation 4 Suda51 game. Suda, dude, my man, don't mess this up. Don't do a free-to-play stupid game. No one wants that shit. Nobody likes it. Nobody wants it. Keep it off of our consoles, especially the PlayStation 4. Sony's a bunch of idiots if they're allowing you or encouraging you to do that. So, for the love of God, make Let It Die just an awesome Suda51 game like you normally do. So, and, you know, wrapping up Sony, the only thing that they need, I kind of touched on this already, is just more exclusives, man. Sony, you don't have any, you have the worst library. Why is your library so bad? Your system is so good and people are buying it like it's freaking curing cancer, but it's not giving anything to anybody except for Bloodborne. And yes, that one game, to me, would justify the purchase of a PS4, but it's really not justifying it for most gamers, so why the hell are people buying PlayStation 4s? No one goddamn knows. Sony, you don't even know. We need more exclusives. I know you've got them. I know you've got the ability. Okay, we do have Street Fighter V, which isn't a Sony game, but it is right now an exclusive game to PS4 and the PC. What the hell else? I mean, Metal Gear is not going to be exclusive. Everything is all multi-platform stuff. So with any luck, oh, excuse me, guys. With any luck, Sony will reveal a couple more exclusive games and show us why the PS4 finally has a library that will justify its success. I'm mad that the PlayStation 4 is successful because of its shitty library, but I don't want to be mad at it. I would rather be like, yeah, the PlayStation 4 sold well, and it's obvious why. Sony, make it obvious. That's what I want. That's what we all want. So those are the things I want from Sony. Like I said, mostly specific title-related stuff. Maybe we'll hear from the Vita. Maybe we get a release date for Uncharted 4. Who knows? So let's go ahead and move on to Microsoft now. Now, Microsoft, this generation, I have become a bigger fan than Sony. Last generation, the PlayStation 3 was my favorite console, even over the Wii, even over Nintendo's console. That's bold for me to say, but it was true. And this generation, although I like all three systems, the Wii U is my favorite. Xbox One, right behind it. I think it's a really quality machine. I like the UI. I think the controller's fantastic. And I like the games that I've been playing on it and what it seems to be offering upcoming that's exclusive. So, I actually need to add a game here. I don't want to forget about this. So, what are we going to hear from? What does Microsoft need to do? What will we see or hear from Microsoft this year? The big and obvious one is Halo gameplay. And more than Halo gameplay, Halo campaign gameplay. I think what we need to get is a trailer that is story-related. Yes, Halo's longevity rests on its multiplayer, but what made Halo really great in the first place, what made it break ground and revolutionary, was its campaign and its co-op. So they need to build on that stuff. Excuse me, I swear I'm getting sick, guys. I'm so sorry. So, what they need to do is build on the campaign, show us what that's going to be like, give us an idea of the story, bring Cortana back. I do not think she is dead. I will stand by that till the end of Halo 6. Cortana will be coming back, spoiler alert. So Cortana is coming back. We need more campaign gameplay. We need to really understand Halo and what's going on there. So we'll see a lot of Halo stuff, and I am super excited. Expect a Halo 5 Xbox One bundle, including a Halo 5 themed Xbox One. That shit's going to happen. Put it in the book. Bet on it. Scalebound. An amazing, hopefully, looking game from Platinum Studios that is coming out exclusive to the Xbox One. We need gameplay and footage of that. We need a story trailer. We need a release date. So I'm really hoping to hear more about Scalebound because I love Platinum. Everything they've ever made, in my opinion, is pure gold. Pure platinum, I should say. So we've only seen just a CG reveal trailer. We know nothing else about it. An exclusive Platinum game for any console is going to be amazing. So let's find out more about that. Here's another huge one. Tomb Raider. The Rise of the Tomb Raider sequel that we know is exclusive to the Xbox One. Who knows for how long. But they apparently built a brand new engine specific for the Xbox One to create this game. The first Tomb Raider was awesome. It was very much trying to be the Uncharted games. Nowhere near as good as Uncharted, in my opinion. And Lara Croft, I love her to death. Mostly the old school era, but even the new Lara, I love her to death. But she ain't no Nathan Drake, man. Come on. Don't even try with that. So she's far less compelling. I'm hoping that they can make her more compelling in the new Tomb Raider. And I know a lot of people thought that that was the strongest part of the first new Tomb Raider, is her character, and her growth and her journey was fantastic, but she still was kind of a bland person. To me, she didn't feel relatable. And I think that there is still the opportunity to do so, because she's likable enough, but she's not relatable. And if they can fix that with the new game, then they'll be just knocking it out of the park. And honestly, I have faith that they will. I am super excited for Rise of the Tomb Raider, so let's get the gameplay, let's get the official release date, confirmation it's 2015. They will be, like, it's insane what Microsoft will be doing with the Xbox One. With Halo and Tomb Raider exclusive games, both of those launching for the holiday this year, they will probably have the best holiday now that Nintendo doesn't have Zelda coming out. I think Xbox One's going to have the best holiday, better than Sony for sure. You know, barring any major surprises, which includes Nintendo or Sony with any major surprises. So we need Tomb Raider stuff. we need some more third-party exclusives, I think, from Microsoft. And Phil Spencer has said that they're going to spend most of their time, A, on games, just like they did last year, and B, on exclusives. So expect to hear a lot of exclusive content coming to the Xbox One. I think that what Phil Spencer and the Xbox team of Microsoft have learned, especially in the face of this crazy PS4 competition, is they need to secure stuff that isn't available on the PlayStation 4. They're not worried about Nintendo. Nintendo's not worried about them. Nintendo works on their own thing. They're almost all exclusives. They don't give a fuck what's on the other two boxes. Microsoft does have to worry about Sony and vice versa. So if they secure a bunch of exclusive content from third-party developers, like an exclusive Assassin's Creed game, like they did with Tomb Raider, making it exclusive, and another exclusive third-party game, like something like Scalebound or something, like a new IP, that's what they need to do. Also, I would die inside if we got a sequel to Sunset Overdrive, because, man, that game is so good. The best game available on the Xbox One right now, 100% truth. It would be great to see a sequel. My fear is that if there was a sequel, it would probably end up going multi-platform, to tell you the truth. But it would be nice if it was announced and if it was exclusive to Xbox One still. Even if it wasn't exclusive to the Xbox One, I almost guarantee you it would appear on Microsoft's press conference, so we'll see how that goes. The very last thing that I think I wanted to talk about, well, I should say, it'll be interesting to see if they talk about the Kinect at all. I think that they will have one or two games where they mention that it has Kinect usage, but I think the Kinect is out of Microsoft's game plan. They had to abandon that thing. It's too bad, but it just didn't apply to anything that we do nowadays, so they had to get rid of it, you know? So anyway, beyond the Kinect, the other thing I think that they will discuss is Gears of War. Now, this makes me very excited. I recently made a video discussing Gears of War. Humongous fan of this franchise. Just gigantic fan. Love Gears of War. And we know two things are happening. We know that Black Tusk Studios, the new internal Microsoft studio created specifically for Gears of War, is working on the brand new Gears of War, what is going to be the 5th game in the series. Whether it's called Gears of War 4 or another title like Judgment or whatever it's going to be, we don't know. But they're working on a brand new original Gears of War game. And then there is the all but confirmed rumor of the Gears of War remaster, which for a long time people thought was going to be a trilogy, myself included. Recent leaked screenshots and news make it seem as if it's just going to be a remaster of the very first game. I don't really care what it is. I will buy it. That is a remaster I'm happy to support and be excited for. So whether it's a trilogy or just the first game, provided it's, you know, appropriately priced based on which one we get, I'm super down. I'm very excited. So I think we'll get the announcement of whatever Gears of War remaster thing is coming to us. And with any luck, I think that this could almost be more than Halo 5. The highlight, the surprise of their press conference would be a true epic reveal of the brand new Gears of War. I should include that Quantum Break is another exclusive game from Microsoft we need to hear about. We probably will hear from it and see another trailer, maybe an on-stage gameplay. But I think that the big thing is going to be Gears of War. Whatever that new game is, I expect that to be either the thing that they open with to blow our minds and then they close with Halo, or they would reverse that and open with Halo and then close with Gears of War in that reveal. I think that would be better, personally, but, you know, I guess we'll see. That's kind of what I think is going to happen. But mark my words, that's a good list for both Sony and Microsoft of the things that I think we might be seeing and what needs to happen. Sony needs to fix their library. Microsoft wants to sell more systems than Sony. So that's what's going on. That's why I wanted to include those two. Again, Nintendo, it's easy to talk about just them because they very purposefully have created this niche that's only them. They don't really relate to the other guys. They're doing fine on their own. Even with the Wii U selling third best, it's like they're still doing okay and they're making a profit, so they're fine. Microsoft and Sony, they're obviously both doing well enough for themselves, but they also their libraries are similar, their architecture are similar. They're both like trying to chase the PC thing. They're just like the same little camp, those two. And I like them both. You've heard me say it. I have all three consoles. I have an Xbox One and a PlayStation 4. I like them both. So that's why I decided, you know what, I'm just going to include these guys together because it's kind of more interesting to talk about because we know that they're going to bounce off each other. Like, yes, they pay attention to Nintendo and vice versa, but they more pay attention to each other. We just know that that's the case. So that's it, man. That's how I think it's all going to play out. You know, that's the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 theories for press conference, what I think we might see, what I think we need to see. I feel like this is a good footnote for each company of the things that are smart for them to do, what's going to benefit them to discuss at E3. So, you know, at the end of the day, what do you guys think? What do you think of the things that I talked about? Which things do you think they should do? Which things do you think actually will happen? And what's going to be smart for Sony or Microsoft that maybe I didn't talk about today? What do you think would be smart for them to do? How do these systems fix their problems and also continue the success that they are having? So, really interesting time. Goddamn, a month away for E3. I freaking cannot wait. I hope you guys are as excited as I am. I'm taking a couple days off in the middle of the week so I can make some videos and follow everything that's going on with Nintendo and with the show and all the companies and the press conferences. I'll be giving reviews. It's going to be really exciting. I love doing this stuff every year. I'm sure you do too. So keep a lookout for all that stuff. Thank you for tuning in. Please feel free to subscribe to Rule of Two Review if you are new to the channel. Like, rate, comment, share the video. And of course, I will catch you guys next time on another video for Rule of Two Review.